Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. I hope this finds you doing well. Before you come in the chat, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video. So, I went out again today and found a few things and thought I'd come on and share those. That's usually how I do it. So, here I am. So, kind of like that last power get that last power push before tomorrow. And there will be an auction at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a lot of fun because I am overflowing with items. So we'll give it just a few minutes to for those notifications to go out. And then we will begin this live haul like I always do. So I usually, if I'm ever in the area of the thrift shop, I usually just stop in there because they do get a wide variety of donations. In fact, I don't know if they're still not taking donations because there was an onslaught of those. So, I believe it is a worthy cause, and they have something where you can round up your total, and I do that because I do not mind supporting a mission that helps women that have been through sexual abuse and get some counseling and things like that. So that's a good thing. They rent their buildings. You probably won't see an expensive high dollar building built because that's not how they operate. And I'm sure they do pretty comparable to the Goodwill because they always have good stuff. It's always an adventure, and I enjoy going in there. I feel at home. And you would think I lived there. Hello, Laura. Good to see you, sweetie, as many times I've been there in the last couple weeks. But the more you have, the more you're going to sell. So, and me being the head wrapper, because I do it all by myself, I am very particular. I have figured out a way to do things where it should be safer beyond putting it in a concrete box. And there's Minnie. Good to see you, Minnie. And yeah, you will probably see that in some of your packages where I've had to be creative and construct something that hopefully will cut down on a lot of that glass breakage. Laura just walked in and saw I was live. Very good. Y'all know how impulsive I can be when I come on, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of shorts last day or so that have been gone out that, yes, indeed, those items will be for sale. And I had noticed that I had gained. You're welcome, Minnie, because I really try to really do it right. If you do it right the first time, I have to set up Friday evening for Saturday's craft show. I'll get to the sale as soon as I can. That's fine, Laura, because I know we all have busy lives. And sometimes our schedules, we juggle them around. And I really appreciate you, Laura. You're always here as well as Minnie and everyone. It just, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude because, you're just amazing, So let's get right into it. And I did find another lamp. So this one is larger than the one that the post office decimated. And this particular one is from the 1983, I think. So the only thing is it does need a screw-in thing on top. The one they had on there was not worth a hoot. But those are a dime a dozen. You could put do your own thing, but what remains the most important part is that lampshade. Hello. So hang on, let's get started. You know me, I've been out there working it big time. Something that I have noticed that there is an interest in. You can send a close-up photo of the sterling spoon, the mark on the back. I'll try to identify it. It must be ancient because I couldn't. I sure will. I know you guys like things with those China motifs on it. And this is handmade for nannies in China. And I'll show you the lid in very good shape. Let's see where our lid is. Okay, ladies, where is it? Let's see what was. No, that's not good. Aha. Did we get lucky or not? I think this is something different. This is an amazing trinket box. Here I go again, right? But what can I say? But like I was saying, I have noticed that a lot of your hand-painted Chinese and Japanese motif items are really going. It seems to be the thing. So I went ahead and picked out some things that I know you guys like. The older, the better. All right, lady, where's the bottom of that? Now, after much digging, I did find it. But I know you guys do enjoy these Chinese, and this one's a beauty. And it does have its lid, and this is what that lid looks like. And I thought it was an immaculate shape. Like I said, I have noticed a trend that people are interested in this stuff. So I naturally will pick it up, and there's your lid. And I guess it's like a ginger jar, whatever. I don't see any crazing in it, but it is an amazing piece. And I've seen it. That's why I always make a couple rounds, because I'm always seeing things after the fact. But isn't that amazing? And I'll show you the bottom. Let me get this up here. Let's see here. Made for nannies in China. And I just thought it was nice. And who knows? You have to appeal to a lot of different people. But I did notice that this is really popular. This stuff. So naturally, you always go with your instincts, and you don't let those opportunities pass you by. And you guys have seen, and there's Sandra. Welcome in, sweetheart. Western Australia. Awesome. Hey, Romel. Welcome in. Romel, you're making me blush, if that's possible. He said her. Said she made me blush so many times I can't even count them. So you guys know that I am the queen of the trinket boxes because I find that you guys like them. So I'm going to get them in every configuration possible. And this, my friends, is one of them. That is, look at that, guys. Is that not amazing or what? Mirrored in the bottom. And it's by Nicole Miller. And it's just really amazing. It's not old, guys. It just has that look. It's not at all old. And hello, Joanne. Welcome in. But I thought it was amazing. Look at that. You have your like beveled like around the edges there, the big top, as I call it. And I thought it was amazing. And it is glass. mirrored on the bottom. You know, I kind of gravitate towards certain items, and thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Joanne, and do not forget that thumbs up, please, and thank you. 6 inches across. Of course, it's going to be that way all the way around, but it is a Nicole Miller trinket box. It is not vintage, but it has that look of, but isn't it beautiful? I was so drawn to it that, get all sticky crap off of it. And there's your Nicole Miller on the bottom. And I just thought it was really neat. So naturally, you know, I got to pick it up, you know, and welcome in you guys. Good to see you. This is one giant, these trinket boxes, all I can say is well done, well done. And I know what you guys like, and hey, let it not be said that I'm like Domino's, I deliver, right? And look at this. This is also a trinket box. And how beautiful is this? Look at that. Hey, Deb. Welcome in, sweetie. It is vintage. The thing about when you have a vintage item, the gold gilding that they use on it is pretty heavy. And it's good to see you, Deb, as you can see. And it's got pine cones. There's your bottom. It does need to be cleaned up. It is a trinket box. Boom. And there's your inside. Very lacy along the bottom. I love boxes. Me too, Romel. And I have a few that I keep them in boxes. But I thought that was amazing. It is old. I didn't Google it, but we're going to. But isn't that amazing? At first glance, it looked exactly like an iron. And thank you for dropping that, Laura. I appreciate that. You do have pine cones. And I know it's vintage because they mark things that are old with vintage. So we're going to take a picture. Do we have crazing? I don't see any crazing in it, but it's amazing. I mean, it's different. Something you won't walk around the corner and see every day. There's just some things, you know, when you know, when you just pick them up and roll on with it. And that's what I do. I go by instinct, and I know that I've been pretty successful picking things that you guys like. I mean, it's proven, y'all. So y'all know that I'm definitely looking out for things for you guys that you request. If I find them, they will be coming home with me. So I'm always on the lookout. Am I successful every time? No, but along that way to success, I do find some amazing things, guys. So let's look this baby up. So, oh dear me, this was better than what I thought it was. This is a hand-painted porcelain box originating in Limoges, France, a region known for its fine porcelain since the 18th century. Limoges boxes are hinged trinket boxes. This isn't hinged, often used to hold small treasures for decorative items. This specific design mimics a traditional iron complete with a gold handle trim. Authentic Limoges boxes are signed by the artist, adding to their value and collectability. So this just happens not to be one of them. It's not signed, but I thought it was amazing. I like to pick up the unusual and things you don't see every day. There's no crazing on it. It says nothing about a date, but I know it's vintage. So let me dig in here. And there are different types of them, and some of them are signed. This wasn't one of them, or it would really be fur, further nicer than what I anticipated. But it's still good. Doesn't get any better than this, guys. So, and there again, I know what you got. You know, there's, like I said, there seems to be a thing about Chinese and Japanese hand painted items. And when I see them, I remember. And I'm telling you guys, this has no shortage of decorative appeal, and it's hand painted. Let me get my third eye here. What's that say? There's something red. And I'm pretty sure this is an older piece. And I can't make it out, but somebody. But anyway, that, my friends, is hand painted. And I do know a lot of people collect things like this, and some of them go for a pretty penny. And there's Betrayed by Sin. I haven't seen you in forever. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. But this is just amazing. There was nothing spared in the decorative creation of this. It's just beautiful. And like I said, I don't know how old this is. I just knew that out there was a people were seeking after stuff like this. So naturally, I'm gonna feed the call. So let me take a picture. But I'm pretty sure this is old, and a lot of people collect these egg-shaped things with all this hand-painted beauty. It does have some texturing, stippling on it. Make a quick picture. This is so amazing, guys. Unreal how beautiful this thing is. It's been a journey. I always keep you in my thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Betrayed by Sin. I really appreciate that. Painted ostrich eggs, so pretty. Yeah, I really thank you for that. We all need those prayers, guys. We live in a hard world that we need prayers. I mean, oh my goodness, it's mid-century. We do need those prayers, and I really appreciate that because I think prayers have a very positive thing about them. And it's always good to pray for people because, guys, we never know what people are going through. We never know what they've been through. And, you know, we really need to think about that before we get, you know, the style Tokyo in Japan. And it's, according to this, it is, that's not it. It's mid-century modern, and oh man, we have texturing, and it's vintage mid-century decorative gold gilded egg. And there is some texture in that, guys, if I can get the camera to cooperate. And there's some texturing in that as well. I don't know if you can see those little knots. There we go. I hope you can see those. But like I said, I know people are after these, so naturally. I like it too, guys. I really do. There's something about the Japan and Chinese lineage that is very fascinating, you know, and how their ways are different from ours and things like that. Like Romel, he's from the Philippines, and I know that he probably has different. He's not too much different, but I'm sure that they do different and observe different things, you know, as part of their And that's why God made us. He made us all different. We're all special. We come in all colors. We're from all nations, all countries, but we are all the same because God doesn't make mistakes. So here we go. We are all unique. We are all created by God. And there's not one of us better than the other. And I think we should remember that. I'd love you guys to see a First Nation Australian hand carved emu egg. They are stunning. I bet. Man, I wonder if I ever come across that, if I would really know what I was looking at. It sounds very interesting. It really does. So, in that Chinese Japanese motif, once again, guys. So, what I do with that? Seems like we're in that. And remember, guys, we are into October. This is what, October the 2nd? And I swear if it's a snake, it bit me. And we are into October. It's October the 2nd. And, and some white hand painted decoration made in China. And I'll see if I can't show it to you. My camera is going woo woo woo. Come on now. Cut that out. But there you go. Right. I think my camera is having problems today. Me, that or I'm not holding my mouth right. But there's your symbol. And it also has a beautiful lid that goes on it. There's your lid with the beautiful painted artistry of Japan. And it also has that gold gilding on that knob. And there's also gilding along the rim. It's got a beautiful edging on it, I thought. Isn't that beautiful? So, I don't know. I'm drawn to these two for some reason. So, like I say, when I thrift, I use my instincts. I know what you guys like. I've been there and I've done that, and I'm very accommodable. Just saying. So, these I thought were very different. Hadn't seen anything quite like these, and I have two of these, and that I'm not promoting drinking, but that is a martini glass. Look how unique that is. Look how that would set. And I've got two of them, and they got blue glass, no markings. And I'll tell you what they are. Thank you, Romel. I think I got that from, now that you got me on this, I got that from Elizabeth at Makeup Zombie, and there is my Gucci ring that I was so happy to pick up from Raven's Crest Doug. It says Gucci on the inside, and it's sterling. But I just thought this was very unique, and so I picked it up. There's only two. Romel, how's your eBay store going? Are you selling anything lately? I know that you do eBay and you do sell quite a bit. That I had noticed, but I know what is hurting people like Romel, especially. We have these tariffs going on, and not only us, it's them too. So the price of things is going up. I wish they would get it settled so that it doesn't. And a lot of this has to do with Russia and trying to cut their allies off so that they can't get their their weapons. And for the life of me, guys, and I don't talk about politics all the time, but for the life of me, why doesn't Trump, you know how he is, and he's already spoke with him 3 times. Why does Trump let him get away with that? To me, if I tell you once, tell you twice, third time, there should be something done about it. And the minute that he agreed to a ceasefire, he launched a missile over on Ukraine. Now he needs to be stopped. And if they don't stop him, he'll get worse and worse. It is just like eBay. No, not eBay, but I have not posted for months now. It's just like eBay. Okay. But indirectly, guys, it's affecting us over in the United States, and it's not right. And we're getting the they're getting the gold mine, and we're getting the shaft. Just saying. But I'd like to see something done about that. And Trump, the way I'm surprised that he didn't send him a little something over there. He is this that guy is defiant. He's killing people, and it's causing us to suffer. Why don't they just go over there and just wipe him out and get it over with? And I'm not a vindicator of killing, but if they don't stop him, he's going to get worse. You don't have to look a rattlesnake in the eye to know that you're going to get bit. And it's not right. I don't know what kind of hold that he has on Trump, but it's going to get bad. I'm surprised Trump let him get away with it. And it's terrible, and we're the ones that reap the worst of it. All these guys that make this big money, it don't bother them. They've got money to burn. It's these little guys, these people in the mid class that are suffering. And then the ones that are below that suffer even more because they're trying to dig out the trench that they're in because they are poor. It's not fair, but what we gonna do? Can't do much about it. But hey, Lenore, welcome in. But he should be treated no different from some of these other dictators. He shouldn't be treated any different. He smirked right in the face of Trump 3 times, and I'm shocked he let him get away with it. I'd send him something he'd never forget. And it wouldn't be flowers neither. That just fires me up. It's never ending, and until somebody does something with him, it's going to continue. Isn't it something how something so many miles away can affect us in our life? This is the 90s, a clear martini glass, aqua blue, marine, and look how different those are. And there is a bubble I see in one of them, but isn't that different? It's like it has a bottom, it just doesn't have a round bottom. And I'll move it in so you can see it, but it is different. Let's see what else it says. And thank you guys for coming in, and welcome in Lenore Retro Vintage Martini Glasses. So yeah, contemporary, a sexy glass. Yeah, it's does have that savoir faire to it, doesn't it? It does have that. But I do see a bubble also right in there, but it is different. And I've noticed that I've picked up quite a few subscribers, not mountainous, but I picked up my fair share. So that tells me all my hard work was not for nothing. So that's number two. And I'm telling you, nobody works harder than me because when I go out thrifting, I have to bring it out of my car, out of the garage, and the garage is not attached, up 6 steps, into my kitchen, through my dining room, living room, and up one, two, three, about 6 or 7 steps up here. So it ain't like I'm a slacker. And if I have the amount of subscribers I am, I darn well earned it. It wasn't coincidence because I've worked it. Now, if I would have been this gung ho within my first year and a half, there's no telling where I'd be right now. But I'm telling you, nobody works harder than this right here. I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but I'm just telling you. So, next up, let's remove some of this paper. Let's go ahead and bring this in. So, I did find another lamp. Here's the shade to it. It is vintage. It is from the 80s. The only thing is the little twisty thing they had on top of it. It wasn't the right one, but I picked it up. So who knows, guys? And it does work. I do believe, well, no wonder. I'll have to go. They put it in a bag. I'll have to, it may have everything, guys, because I found that, and more than likely that goes on top. Let's see here. But this says this lampshade set, and it's got you flick a switch, and it is IEM 1988. And as you can see, it's not a small shade, and it is glass. Let me see here, guys. That probably does go right there. But yeah, look at that. That is some beautiful glass, and there's your design. It is from 1988. And welcome in, Bird on a Wire. Jamie, welcome in. Hey, Gina, it's exercise your hard work thrifting. Glad I'm finally getting a chance to watch you live. I'm glad too, Jamie. Yeah, it is hard thrifting, and depending upon what you sell. And since I deal in a lot of this glass, but this is pink. Now, the one that got decimated by the postal people had crackle glass and it was smaller, but this is bigger. Big, big, big. So I don't know what IEM stands for, but it is a trademark and it's from 1988. And I probably got it because it was pink, no doubt, guys. But yeah, it's beautiful. So that will be going up. It does require a little bit of tightening. And hello, Francis. Welcome in, sweetie. So I thought it was beautiful. And it's that big, pink. And I had to get it, so I picked that up. So let's very gently, let's get a measurement first. Let's see how big and what we're dealing with, guys. And thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate that. We're coming across, and it's a good 13.75 inches across. It's really pretty. It is glass. And I was thinking about something. I was thinking, because sometimes the postal system are not careful. Whoever buys this, I could take these, which it wouldn't take that much, these glass panels out separately and wrap them, because Murphy's Law says the post office, if they could break a, I don't know what, but that's an ideal. Those panels do come out, and it might be safer. And to keep it from being broken, I mean, there's screws and stuff. I don't mind doing it. You just have to put it back together when you get it. But so there's that. So every now and then I treat myself. So good God, have you seen her in these auctions? She does it every day. Oh well. Nice cold water. Man, I'm going to have to put my muscles on for this, because this is really a heavy piece. And this is a lamp for me. Hey, Marzita, welcome in, sweetheart. Here I go. This, ouch, right here. I went in the other day and I saw her. It was on a cart straight ahead of where I was walking. So I bought it for me. And it is vintage. It is a lamp. And boy, is it heavy. I'll back her up a little bit. Here's what the bottom looks like. I didn't Google her. It was instant attraction. I would be so scared to ship that. I do not know how you managed to pack your huge, gorgeous. Well, Romel, it takes forethought, and I think I've designed a way to kind of protect them even more. When you do that ship glass, you got to be creative sometimes. But yeah, it does make you wonder, just what in the flip that the post office, how they handle your stuff, because they're rough as they can be, and UPS is no different. I know they have a job, I know they have a deadline, but don't be breaking people's stuff. So I figure if I put everything I configure things to where, I know I can't put this here because this over here is way too heavy. So you never put that lighter weight item even anywhere near that larger item, because it will result in disaster. And this one, I believe this is the original shade, guys, but it's not in very good condition. But still, the price was definitely right. And there's the lampshade. So I just picked it up. It's kind of lacy. Isn't it pretty? She's heavy too, man alive. But yeah, I think this could be the original on this. But the inside's ragged out. But you could always change that. With time, everything's going to break down, but I do think this is original. Yep, there's your lamp. Reminds me of hula girls in Hawaii. You know how you get off the plane in Hawaii and you see these going like that? But she is heavy. I didn't Google her. I might take a quick picture of her, but isn't she beautiful? Man, you'd have to put her on. You couldn't put her on anything lightweight table, because as heavy as she is. Let me take a quick picture. And thank you, Lenore. I seen it and I walked in. It was just, I just picked it up and put it in the cart. I didn't even. Yeah, Minnie, this thing is heavy. She is really, really heavy, heavy, heavy. Let me take a picture. She has such a lovely stance about her. I left her out and I didn't bring her in because of she's heavy. Whoa. So she was in the back floorboard of my car with braced against that little thing and yeah, they're not I was just drawn to her immediately, Jamie Lynn. When I seen her, it was like, come in with me, and I picked it up. And they had not, it was on the cart. They was getting ready to put those things out, and I saved them the trouble, and I come right in and sniped it right up. This is chalkware, guys. She is chalkware. 20th century, depicting a shepherdess or young woman holding flowers or a basket. It's chalkware. It's plaster-based material, often to resemble porcelain or other materials. It embodies a shabby chic aesthetic characteristic of vintage decor. Vintage chalkware pieces often show minor chips or paint loss, which are considered part of the charm. But this is chalkware. Similar vintage chalkware figurines, including those by makers like Bourget or Vittora, are sought after by collectors. Hey, Bruce, welcome in. But yeah, isn't she pretty? But she's chalkware, man. Chalkware weighs a ton. But I don't see, I see a little bit, maybe a paint loss back here. But other than that, she is, there's no broken, she withstood the test of time, guys. And they say that the paint loss kind of adds to the charm of it. But there she is. Isn't she pretty? So, and I don't know how much it sways, guys. I've got a regular postal type scale downstairs and I haven't weighed her, but as you know, my house is older and that's what I thought of. Now, if I can't work her into where I think she's suitable, then I'll sell her, but beware, she's heavy. But she's chalkware. I never heard of chalkware. Chalkware. But yes, I do have the other lamp. I'm if that is so, guys, I'm going to physically take thank you. I'm going to physically take that apart and wrap those panels separately because the post office are idiots. Of course, here's your bottom. Probably weighs a good 7 pounds or more. But when I seen her on the cart, hey, nephew Troy, she was beckoning my name, so I picked her up, and it's good to see you. But I thought she was pretty. And Bruce almost got me in trouble in chat yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, because you know, Bruce, when you get me started, and I get cracked up, and well, at least they had fun, right? But yeah, I really this isn't old, but bull, Bruce, you're as guilty as you want to be out there, and you know it. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's not vintage, but it's got that beveled glass. Bruce back, he's probably back there laughing and has his hand up like that. Bruce, get a drink. But this is kind of the the last run before the auction tomorrow. It will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Holy cats. Ain't nobody going to be talking if I don't get this plugged in. And I was coming home and I thought, well, I want to do. You both were reprimanded. I was watching. You two are funny. Yeah, because Bruce started it and he knows it don't take much. But I didn't. I think Joshy Boy got in trouble because he put something in there that was made. I was framed. Yes, thank you guys for being here. That's because Gina was talking about. Now there you go. Yeah, but you asked me who I wanted to see in a Speedo, and I didn't recall ever discussing that. See, he edged me on. But I think Joshy Boy said something that got us all in trouble. Anywho, I was innocent. I just didn't look innocent, right? And Bruce is not innocent. Bruce said, "Now wait a minute." But yeah, I've got quite a few guys, and the good news is I can walk through here because of that table over there. So it's gonna be pretty fun, guys. Yeah, see, Jamie draws a good point. I think you are all welcome comic relief. You make us all laugh. Yeah, we do. That we do. And Bruce, he knows enough about me to know once he gets me started, whether it be typing or in here, he knows what I'm going to do. So that's why I was framed. But actually, I really think Joshy Boy really said something that I think it was him instead of me and Bruce, but it might be all three of us. But we were just having some harmless fun. But now, Bruce, come Mad Libs. The gloves are coming off, and I'll get to laugh and say every Mama Chola told. What'd she tell you? What'd she tell you, Bruce? Oh, okay, I got you. And during Mad Libs, come next Monday, we'll make it a comic relief jewelry sale. Well, I tell you, I'm not beyond making people laugh. And my mind is so quick, it's like that. So, more than likely, I will not get my legs striped in Bruce's chat. No, Doug didn't. He just kind of reminded us to behave. But I can't help it when I get on a roll. I get on a roll. So I laughed the entire time. That's how I did anything. But yeah, I was coming home with all this stuff, and I'm like, there was a traffic backup, and I don't know what it was, but it was more northbound, and I got off the Henry. Hey, Jen, welcome in, welcome in. Just got home with dinner with the family. What'd you have, Jen? You have something good? And welcome in, sweetheart. But yeah, Bruce. Remember, Bruce, Mad Libs is coming. That's the only place that you can go in, and I didn't say anything bad, but things do go. Shrimp, scallops, and zucchini, yum. But when things go through my mind, if I'm talking, they come out. If I'm typing, they come out. Can't help it, guys. And once someone gets me started, Once you get me started and I get on a roll, I'm hard to shut up. And these are really neat, guys. Speaking of turtle shell Beth, these are glass. They look like stone, but they're glass. And I got these from Beth. And they make the most magnificent sound when banged together. One is pink and one is like a purplish, and they are glass. So I love the sound of this. I guess I'm a little strange, but sometimes strange is not a bad thing. But listen, there's something about that. It kind of reminds me of a chime or something like that. But so I got up this morning early and I was crocheting. I went back to sleep, and my husband got up with the dogs, and I went back to sleep and didn't get up till it was afternoon. And my husband stepped in. He said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine. I'm just tired. The old gray mare isn't as young as she used to be." Well, I have a few gray hairs, but me and the hairdresser never talk about that. Beth Darnby. Um, I haven't seen Beth since they had that water leak. They had an upstairs and they had a leak and the water was just pouring, and I haven't seen her lately. And I imagine it costs quite a bit of money to have that repaired. And Beth goes through quite a bit, and Beth's really a sweet person. But like I said, you guys remember when Beth was around 18, she was hit head on by this big dump truck, and she had to have facial reconstruction, and she has other problems too. And I haven't seen, I hope she's doing okay. I know that what happened to her home was very expensive. So I hope that I haven't seen her in forever. So, but yeah, she was. It's a wonder if that she wasn't killed in that accident, but she's got her faces all. That's awful. I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine, unless it knocked you unconscious, being in a car accident like that and be lucid and aware of what's going on and the pain associated with that? It would be horrible. I always wonder how Dr. Nancy was. Sometimes someone told me she passed. Oh, guys, life is like a vapor. One minute we're here and the next we're gone. It's just, we have to really spend every moment and, loving people, experience in life, because we don't know when our time's coming. And yeah, it's been a year, and you know, don't have any regrets. Life is like a roll of toilet paper. When you get to the end, it goes very fast. That's true. Hey, Shell Bell. That's true. Good to see you, Shell Bell. We was just talking about not Turtle Shell Beth, but Beth Darnby. We haven't heard from her. I know she had guess it was like a year ago, she had that water leak in one of her, I guess it was her restrooms upstairs, and she took a picture and the water was just, so I imagine there was a lot of damage in that. Nancy Anderson, I'm not sure, she was hit by a car and paralyzed, then hit by a truck. How sad. Isn't that terrible? We just never know in what fashion that we're going to go. And Hey, Dana, sweetie, welcome in. We really don't. Like I'm sure I'm 61 and Bruce is 66. I'm like a kid, Bruce. I tell your age, and we're all getting older. I think the youngest one is possibly Romel out there, and we're not getting any younger. I mean, to be able to age and live your life is really a blessing because there's so many people out there. And Dennis is 80, so we're all in that at least 50 group, 50, 60, 70, 80. But my daughter, a lady retired from Walmart. She had 35 years. This woman worked 35 years for Walmart. The head manager that could have went, they had a little something for her in the back. They could have came in and gave appreciate people. I'm telling you, when you work in these places, you're nothing but a number. And if you walk out in the parking lot and get run over by a car, they say, get the shovel and get them out of here. And I say, next. And they treat people, I mean, there was no reason why that head honcho couldn't have come in there. I mean, 35 years at a job is nothing to sneeze at. And I don't care what kind of job it is. Hey, Mama Chola, welcome in. Mama Chola, Bruce has been teasing me out there. He's so angelic. But for instance, when you're a reseller, when you look in the mirror, you see your boss. And so many of these places do not appreciate people. They just say next. And a lot of the people they get, they don't last. And when you get these people that have proven themselves and been with a company for 35 years such disrespect. I mean, I felt like that the head honcho over that store should have been there because this lady was in the old store. She was 35 years. That's a long time to give out of your life. Jen said, I left the hospital after 6 years and I got a Chick-fil-A lunch as my going away meal. Well, that's not, they could have did better than that, but they should have given you a Chick-fil-A card and a gift card to Bath and Body. They should have fixed you up a basket. Put your Chick-fil-A card, something from Bath and Body, and. Hey, Leslie, welcome in, sweetie. Good to see you. See, there's no respect. You spend, everyone has to make a living, but you spend a lot of your life being that loyal employee. And, Leslie can tell you, Leslie has worked in a lot of different jobs and she finally got the chance to do something she really loves. I asked for Panera Bread, and that was too expensive. They wanted to get pizza. Well, I'll be darned. Cheapskates. We got a Panera Bread over here. I mean, back in the day, you were appreciated. When you were retired, you were appreciated for your hard work and dedication. It's like folks aren't allowed to have emotions as far as employment rules. That's true, and I think they teach them that, Shell Bell. I think they teach them how to be cold and callous, but you're human. Yeah, they write it off. At Chick-fil-A, I like Chick-fil-A, but it could have been something a little better. But yeah, it's just so people are indispensable today. Well, if you get mad because they treat you like crap, they'll say, well, next, and they'll get some other person that will not do the job that you do. And it happens all the time. And Leslie said, it is very true. I only had one job I felt loved and respected at. And it is, when, employees are a dime a dozen. You can hire and fire them and they can quit. But a good employee that's going to stick there and be there when they're supposed to and do their job today is almost unheard of because people, they want to slack. And don't you ever go into a job and overdo it, because to tell you what, there was somebody watching you going to let you have it all. And then you're going to end up frustrated and leaving because of being frustrated. I agree, Leslie. That's when I owned the travel agency. I worked somewhere and I forget where it was. And somebody said, well, we work like a team. I said, well, why do I feel like I'm the only one on that team? Hello. There you go, Bruce. Hello. I said, dang, that's why you never want to over excel, because when you do, you get used and you're working your heart out while that person over there is sitting back and slacking. I've told a few bosses what they could do in my past, and I don't care. A boss is a boss. And guess what? They put their pants on just like we do. And if I ever got crossed, they only did it once, one time. Because when I go in an office and shut a door, they better lock it, because I'm going to rip somebody up. I've been in that position where I told a lot, and hey, I would have done it again, because nothing makes people more angry than to be told about themselves. And don't think I didn't do it, and I would have done it again given the chance. I didn't take nothing, nothing. And I'm still like that in person. You're like, oh no. So she's a mean old thing. I never did. I felt like that. I always respect people, and that's the way I am. Okay, Bruce, you have a good day. I'm getting ready to end it here on that note, but we do have a lot of pretties. This isn't old, but I thought it was magnificent. It is a trinket box. I tell you guys, I've been a ball of fire in my day. I'm telling you. Isn't that neat? A lot of people are kind of afraid of me too, but hey, don't start none and there won't be none, right? Speedos and cowboy. And Bruce, he started at Mama Chola, him asking me who I was envisioning in a Speedo, and that got me going. It's his fault, and I'm going to blame him because he probably left and he can't hear me. So, cowboy boots. Now, if you have Speedos and cowboy boots, you look a little more respectful. Now, if you have work boots on, it doesn't look so hot. But yeah, so Gina, I have to tell you, the other night I never laughed so hard in so long. It felt so good, and it was because of you. I know, Mama Chola, my mind clicks really fast, and I think of these things, and it's just boom, 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 and it just comes out. But I like to get people's. I was trying to get Bruce's reaction, and you can tell when I like somebody because I try to get their reaction. And I just wanted to see what he would say, and I don't know where it came from, and I just. So how was it? No, I've never wore speedos, Minnie. We was talking about a thong. We was talking about speedos. It was Bruce, and I asked Bruce if he ever wore a speedo with cowboy boots. He goes, "Oh no, I cover completely up." But yeah, I was just trying to see how he'd react to it, and I was laughing too. And when spell check messes up, but we was having, I don't know where it came from. It just came out. And I wanted to get his reaction, is what it was. But once I get started, it was the visual that kept us going. And then Merche got into it, and then more people got into it, and just Giggle City from three with from there with everyone. I know it, but wasn't it? It was funny. It really was. Actually, guys, I get it honest because when my sister was still, when she was still living, we would talk on the phone, and it's all we would do would tell jokes. Our favorite joke was about our uncle. And hey, Nana, welcome in. Hey, Elizabeth, honey, welcome in. So, one funny thing was um, it was my uncle and my oldest sister, me and my stepbrother, and we went fishing. Well, the place where we went fishing, there was a lot of tall grass, and I said, "Y'all crazy? I'm sitting in the car. You can wait in there and get snake bit." So the next thing I know, I hear somebody hollering, and evidently a bug got into my uncle's ear, and he took his pole and threw it. And us, that was our Uncle Lee, and he was a comedian too. And we get in the car, and I've got my uncle's hat on in the back seat, and this song comes on. I think it's by Tom Petty. Here Comes My Girl, and it started out. It seemed so useless to have to work so hard, and nothing ever seemed to come from it. Of course, me and my oldest sister bursted, was laughing, and he went like that and he turned it off. But it was so funny. I know my son's hurt. Yes, laughing is so good for you, better than sit-ups for your time. I know. I laughed so hard one night, my stomach was hurting. It was so. Laughter is good for you, though. That Bruce, I'm telling you, saying I know what he did. See, we get each other going, and then we both get in trouble. Then that way they get the right one, right? So it's still warm here in here in southern Indiana. So, anywho, and thank you for doing that, Lenore. I know that there are auctions going on. Kirsten is one of them, and I know you guys want to be there. And it's 10 minutes after 7, so I'm going to let you guys go. That sale will be tomorrow at 6:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to take these ornaments and split them up in groups. And some of them are older, and we'll go from there. Lenora said, "You both are grounded." Bruce will probably sneak out the window and get, when he does, there'll be a big dog out there, and I'll be there, sweet pea. I came in to give you a thumbs up and tell you how much I love you and have fun with it. And have fun it was the other night. Thank you. You're welcome, Mama Chola. I am going to let you guys go. There will be some Christmas items and much, much more in 1 minute. I know Mama Chola doesn't like my little doll. Isn't she adorable? And she's one of those build a dolls. And when I first seen her, I laughed. But how adorable is she? So, without further ado, be there tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Heidi ho. Bye bye, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks a lot. I stole a scene from Chucky, just saying. You guys have a good day, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye. Don't like my doll. Look how sweet. My daughter didn't like dolls neither.